Authors Press.
Hey, it's Benji Cole, son of Al Cole from CBS Radio, welcoming you to another edition of People of Distinction, the talk that gives an in-depth view of some of the most dynamic, intelligent, and successful people on the planet. And on the line with us today, we have Anthony Young. We'll be discussing his new book, Fire, Reality, Yet Not Reality. Anthony was brought to People of Distinction today by some of the best movers in the business, Authors Press Publishing. If you have a book that you'd like moved, you got to move it through Authors Press. You can find them at authorspress.com. And guys, you know, I'm so excited to have Anthony on the line with us today because the book we're going to be discussing, Fire, Reality Yet Not Reality, is something that, well, first of all, it's a fictional narrative, okay? And it's a journey that we're going to be taking with these characters, but it's a fictional narrative that has so many nuances that seem to be based in realistic circumstances and relatable circumstances, okay? And, you know, right off the bat, for any of my readers, the moment you start going into the book, I mean, a lot of people may, right from the very beginning, think that this is a book that is about racial profiling, you know, and about things of that nature, but it isn't, right? There's so much more to it, and just like the book, you never want to judge a book by its cover, right? No pun intended, but there's so much more to it rather than just that opening sequence that we're gonna see. And of course, as all my readers out there, when you pick up the book, will be able to see yourself, it's so much more than that. It's a book about social change. It's an action adventure crime story that way. It's such a journey that these characters go on, and a journey that you'll be able to follow suit with them. And at the end of the day, let's face it, given the current circumstances with this pandemic that we're all dealing with, we're spending a lot more time at home. And, you know, I don't know about you guys, but we can all do with a great story to just get lost in and take a journey to take us out of the confines of our home that way. But without further ado, we have Anthony on the line with us. Anthony, first and foremost, man, thank you very much for being a guest with us on People of Distinction. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm wonderful, man. Thank you very much for being on here. We're really excited to jump into this book, Fire, Reality, Yet Not Reality. So let's just go right into it, Anthony. Tell us a little bit about the book. Give us a brief synopsis.
Well, first of all, I think of this book as a game changer. Like, I dare to be different. Like, I try to not to make it like anything that's on the market. Like, there's action, like, you see, like in other stories, it's similar, but in ways it's different. Like a slim guy, like he challenges a birdie guy to a fight, you know, and like I wonder, like who will win that battle, you know? A pregnant woman, she like carries an infant in a belly pouch, and she has like stolen merchandise, like dangling out of her pocket. And a garbage bag, like down her shoulders, and then she hopped away in a getaway car. I mean, like that's the kind of action you see in this book. I mean, and then, but the book itself, it's a best friend journalist and PE coach. They see like two other best friends, criminals, like common embezzlers. They're spray painting a building. Mm-hmm. So like they asked if they can join the action. So their like request was granted. So after that, all the guys, like they become friends, and then they form a pact to go on like these wild adventures, like to live out their like wildest dreams, and they try to escape authorities. Like for example, they egg screeds in cars and break car windows with rocks and trash neighborhoods. But, you know, their main adventure is they try to steal a jade from a museum before it's auctioned. But, like, around these guys, you see other people, like, all of their, like, crazy fire actions, too. So, like, it's stories within stories, like, you know, it's so much craziness in the world. It's like, it's craziness in this book. And like in the world, it gets crazy every day.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and you're talking about all of these different cast of characters that you've been able to put together. And, just from that brief synopsis, we can see that there is a lot of walks of life that we encounter within this book. Now, Anthony, talk to our listening audience about the title, Fire, Reality Yet Not Reality. I mean, it's such an intriguing title. Tell my listening audience here at People of Distinction, how did you develop that creatively and bring that title into fruition?
Wow. When you first hear the title, people might associate fire as evil, but mine is a lot different. I was at the book fair, where I live, and then this woman, she was associated with evil, the devil and stuff, but it's actually a lot different. It's really a call to action. So it was a personal experience that got me the title, that made me come up with the title. And then a lot of my stories, they start off with one title, but in the end they end up with another title, because I always try to give my readers something extra,
Absolutely.
I always try to add to it, because it's a bigger picture to it. It was a personal experience of mine, which I use in most of my stories. I take the personal experience, either that one experience or a whole bunch of personal experience, whatever amount it is, and then I make it into a whole story. It was it's really love that made me do it, come up with the title. I was in so-called, in love, quote unquote,
Absolutely.
You know how you really like someone but they don't like you back.
Mm-hmm.
You do whatever it takes to woo them, but then you realize it's not going to work out. So you have to move on.
Absolutely.
It was this one particular female I liked. So when I was at Miami-Dade College, a friend of mine, he gave me I had a card for her on Valentine's Day, and he gave her the card, but and it had this simple poem in it, Roses Are Red, I think, the classic, and I finished the rest of it. So one day I finally decided to tell her that I gave her the card, but she rejected me for whatever reason. So then, at that point I wanted to just hit a wall. Sometimes you get so frustrated about something. I was on campus, I'll never forget it. I was literally on campus at Miami-Dade College, and when I told her that, I was by a classroom or a bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
So how sometimes you get so frustrated with work or your boss or something in general, you just want to hit a wall or hit something. And I wanted to hit that wall that day, that bathroom class, but I didn't. And that was me then, and that was fire.
Right. Yeah. No, I understand the connection. Absolutely. I mean, we're definitely. Yeah, we're following along how that fire kind of, derives and instills within you. Guys, once again, here on the line with Anthony Young, discussing his book, Fire, Reality Yet Not Reality. Now, Anthony, so we discussed the title of the book. Talk to my listening audience about any type of inspiration. I mean, did you always see yourself as an author? Did you see yourself as a writer? Where does that creative state of mind develop from?
No. I in school, in high school, when I was thinking about what I wanted to do with my life, I said maybe I'll be a police officer, electrician. I wasn't exactly sure. I liked English and I liked the writing, but I never thought to do it in my own spare time. I never tried it until that one particular time. like after I got rejected by the girl, let me see. You could guess what I did. I wrote, right? I actually wrote, but I didn't write the story Fire. I wrote another book, though. I started writing in a certain way, like it was just like song out at the time, Usher, You Got It Bad. So I had it bad for that person, Jessica Gonzalez.
All right.
So she brought out so many emotions out of me. So I wrote like in a certain way, though. I was like free writing, whatever my thoughts and feelings, like I just wrote it down. Like at the time I was like a kid. I moved with my aunt, uncle, and grandma, like a couple years out of college. So I didn't have any I didn't even have my own room. I maybe had a notebook, but for college, but it wasn't even a notebook it wasn't a notebook that I could do writing in. So I just got like any piece of paper I could. I just like wrote all of my thoughts and feelings like down creatively, unapologetically. So she brought out so many emotions into me. So then that's when I started writing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't start writing until then. So actually that situation when she turned me down, I wrote that, but I also wrote that actually inspired like 2 books. But the other one, like besides Fire, because I had an idea to write Fire then, but I didn't actually write it. I like took like notes down and stuff, but it was something else that actually made me actually started writing Fire.
Got it. Yeah. So, what I love about talking to all my authors and always asking about where that creative inspiration comes from is it is always so varied. Initial spark of what sets somebody on that creative journey is fascinating to me. Because again, it's always so varied. It's so different. You're talking about this woman that turned you down, and really the path that set you on. And although I'm sure at the time it definitely didn't feel good, right? You're talking about that fire that you felt within you, and it definitely probably wasn't the best feeling at the time. But look at how many books you've been able to spark from that emotion, right? And that journey that you've been able to go down. That's fantastic and wonderful to hear. Now, the next question that I have for you, Anthony, is why did you feel, so we know the inspiration behind it and why you created the book. Why did you feel that this was a book that you needed to write? And it wasn't just something that you kind of did in your spare time or something that you kept in your mind. This was something that you felt you needed to actually put in book form and publish it so people could purchase it and also read. Why did you feel that this was something that needed to be told?
Well, because my like I said, I was inspired to write like more than one book. The Fire, and then like another one. It's about a college kid. He has like 2 lives, like his life of his college life, and then he has his other life where he's going like writing in his journal. So I feel like that's a book like way down the line. But then I had like a near-death experience. So that was like a wake-up call for me to like really like, it was like harsh reality check, wake-up call. Like, I have to get this done. You never know what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
I had like this abscess in my nose, one time from playing basketball. And I was like in there before Christmas. Like a few days before Christmas, like somebody elbowed me like a week. So I was hospitalized. And my dad, sometimes he says, he wanted me to play basketball because I was tall, and my younger brother to play football because he was bigger than me, and it's a physical game. But people don't realize that, like, basketball is a physical game too. It's like a lot of elbows flying around and stuff, swinging. So when somebody did that, like, they put me in the hospital. I had an abscess in my nose. You know, I was looking like Kanye West when he had, like, the car accident. And, like, one of the nurses told me I was lucky to be alive because the infection could have spread it all over my body.
Wow.
So I have, like, I'm fortunate to have a pretty good memory. I have, like, a photographic memory. So all the while I was in the hospital, I was, like, writing the book. All in my head, like, I did as much as I can to retain. I retain as much as I can in my head. So when I was released out the hospital, like Christmas Eve, like years ago, I said, like, I'm going to get this done no matter what. Like, it was a lot of distractions in my house and stuff. I didn't have my own room, but I said I'm going to get this done no matter what. So, like, days after I got out the hospital, like, at the time I wasn't in school or working, so I had a lot of time on my hands. So I went to the library. I read, like, Stephen King, Donna Goins, as much as I could. Like, I read more than I ever read. Mm-hmm. Like, I brushed up on my vocabulary. And then, like, a few weeks later, I felt like it was time. So I just did it. Like, I went in for like a year straight, and I was just grinding, and, like, I'm still in. You know, it just don't stop, you know.
Absolutely. Got to put the hard work in.
And then, yeah, I just went all in for like a year. It took me a year to write the book.
Wonderful. Well, yeah, again, I mean, it sounds like obviously you put a lot of hard work into it and really manifesting the thoughts that you had in your mind and putting the pen to the paper that way. So, guys, here we are again on the line with Anthony Young discussing Fire, reality yet not reality. Now, as we tie this up, Anthony, last question that I really want to ask you. What is one message that you really want our listening audience here to know about Fire?
It's something like it's different than what you see on the market, you know. It's for like 17. It's like a part mystery to the book, you know. Like a thing about writing. The brood, I believe, is ambiguous, but and then my book. It's part mystery. Like, if you get the fire part, then you can get the reality yet not reality part. You know, like, one of the main messages of my book is social change without giving too much of the mystery part. Like, the audience is intended for like 17 years old and up, but really though it's for everyone. It just has some like adult content, like, 'cause also, like, a goal of mine with the book, you know, is to have it to be so wonderful and impactful on society is that it would turn, like, non-readers into readers. Like, when musicians, artists, like, all these wonderful new artists, they come in the industry, they are new, but, like, are they really a breath of fresh air? That's what I strive to be.
Wonderfully put. There it is, guys. I mean, well, listen, what more can be said? We just finished discussing Fire, reality yet not reality by Anthony Young. Guys, it's an action adventure, a crime story like no other. And like Anthony just said, it's also based and revolving around social change. So not only is it a journey that you can get lost in, but it's going to be impactful in terms of how it shapes your mind and your overall perception of your reality. So, Anthony, thank you so much for being a guest on People of Distinction, man. We truly appreciated you bringing this book to our table.
Thank you for having me. I have a website I would like everyone to know. It's www.arthur.anthonyyoung.com. Again, that's www.arthur.anthonyyoung.com. So please buy your copies there now. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the support. Thank you.